Hey guys, it's Rachel from the Lorraine Lamb, and today I have a book review on The Amateurs by Sara Shepard, the first book in the Amateur series. I'm not sure if this is a series, a trilogy, or a duology, so it's kind of up in the air, but I really loved this book so much. It definitely, like, of all Sara Shepard's works past this that I've read, this is definitely giving me the most Pretty Little Liars vibes and making me just really excited for a long series, because with The Good Girls and The Perfectionist and The Good Girls, I knew that was a duology, but this one could be more than 2 books, and I just love Sara Shepard's writing in general. So a few notes at the top of the video about what's going to be happening. One, I was supposed to post this video yesterday, but I actually had a very dizzy day. I have a cyst behind my ear, a very small one, that just sometimes it inflames and it makes me a little bit dizzy, so I didn't really feel very well yesterday, and I did have the day off, so I just kind of just laid down and read the book. So I didn't want to make a video when I was in the best frame of mind. I thought I'd just wait till today and upload it a little bit earlier than usually I would if I, put a video up on Thursday. Also, if the lighting changes, natural light, so hopefully it works with me. And last note, this will be a book review and discussion, so if you have not read The Amateurs, don't worry, the first part of this book review will be spoiler free. I will let you know when spoilers come into the video, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, if you haven't read the book and are just here for the spoiler-free part, when you read the book, I have actually, if you see this, my notebook, I've actually split up my notes by chapter. So I have a header like chapter 4, and I have all my notes, all I think 33 chapters, plus the before and after sections. So if you guys are reading and you want to hear my notes reading along, my notes do not spoil anything further than that. But my notes will contain stuff that happened in the chapter, so I suggest if you're going to listen to chapter 3, my notes of that, definitely read chapter 3 first. So that's kind of, if you want to make it a little interactive, you can do that. So anyway, The Amateurs, I'm going to read the inside flap because I don't want to spoil it because of mysteries. I feel like if I say something and, I say something with a little tinge of someone else, it could give something away. Here's the synopsis. I need some answers about my sister. Help. 5 years ago, high school senior Helena Kelly disappeared from her backyard in Dexby, Connecticut, never to be heard from again. Her family was left without any answers, without any idea who killed Helena or why. So when 18-year-old Seneca Fraser sees a desperate post on the Case Not Closed message board, she knows it's time to change that. Helena's high-profile disappearance is the one that originally got Seneca addicted to true crime. It's the reason she's a member of the site in the first place. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, she agrees to spend spring break in Connecticut, working on the case of Maddie Wright, her friend from Case Not Closed. However, the moment she steps off the train, things start to go wrong. Maddie's nothing like she expected, and Helena's sister Erin doesn't seem to want any help after all. Plus, Seneca has a secret of her own, one that could derail the investigation if she's not careful. Alongside Brett, another super user from the site, they slowly begin to unravel the secrets Helena kept in the weeks before her disappearance. But the killer is watching. Where am I? Oh yeah. And determined to make sure the case stays cold. So it's a first in a gripping new series packed with scandalous twists, shocking betrayals, and sizzling romance. I really loved this book. I didn't read the synopsis before I jumped into this. I read the synopsis originally when I heard this was released, but it's a Sara Shepard book, so I was going to buy it anyway and read it. Because I just love her books. But anyway, if you're new to my book reviews or just need a refresher, I read books in 5 different categories: plot, characters, cover, suspense, and overall in terms of rereading. 1 out of 5 not so soon, 5 out of 5 very soon. So basically, plot, I get the plot a 5 out of 5. Now, there was one thing I was a little bit not upset with. A little thing that, bothered me about the plot. It's not really so much as the plot, but more the structure. Sometimes some perspectives I had to go back and see whose perspective it was because I got a little confused on the perspectives. But besides that point, and that might have just been me not feeling well yesterday, so who knows. But besides that, I really loved the plot. This had been compared kind of on Goodreads, I believe, to Veronica Mars and Gone Girl, 2 properties I really do enjoy. So I definitely saw those vibes. I definitely got those PLL vibes where it just re-invoked that for me. It was like reading the Pretty Little Liars books for the first time. I think this book, I love all her other books that I've read from her, but this book definitely brought me back to that Pretty Little Liars time. Really enjoyed everything that happened. I would definitely, let's say you're going to read the book soon, I wouldn't read the synopsis. I just go into it as blind as you can. I know I just read the synopsis, but, guaranteed you'll forget most of it anyway as the day goes on. But yes, really enjoyed everything that happened. The plot was fast, it was moving, there was very little, there's little parts that were slow, but they were to develop the characters, but it moved really fast. Also, if you're a fan of Sara Shepard's books, but you're, not loving the length of the Pretty Little Liars series, because there's a lot of people who have quips about that, which is totally understandable, especially when you're starting late in the game, because it is very overwhelming jumping into it. It's equivalent to like jumping into the Outlander series. There's not as many books as the Pretty Liars series, but they are quite hefty. But this book, the mystery, has a somewhat conclusion, I would say, but you guys will see. Characters, I give it a 5 out of 5. Now, the characters in this book, at first I wasn't really connecting with them, but that I think was the point. You're supposed to be a little bit distanced from the characters because, especially Seneca, the main character, like at first I was like, I don't know if I really like her, but she really reminded me of Veronica Mars' first season, like the first few episodes where you don't know very much about her, but you know she's gone through something traumatic. And she's kind of closed off from the viewer. Reminded me of that. I really loved the character Seneca, how she grew throughout the novel. I really liked Maddie's character as well. Yeah, I really liked Brett and Aaron. I really liked all the characters. They're all kind of closed off and they all have dealt with traumatic pasts. But you got to see them unravel and kind of grow and mold friendships, which was very good. And I really liked their friendships within the book. Cover, I actually give the cover a 4 out of 5. Like, it's not my favorite cover, but I really do like the yellow. I don't know why there's smudges. I really do like the yellow against the purple. I love the texture of this, and on the back they have like a fingerprints, and they're like, you know, textured. It's okay. Like, I don't really like dark purples. I don't know what it is about them, but I really love how the people are walking. It kind of reminds me of like one of those like apps where it's like, it's like kind of like Sims apps, but like, you know, like the people are walking about. I probably explained this horribly, but I just really love the looming shadow. Like, it's a pretty good cover. It's not my favorite cover in the land, but I really like also the yellow end pages. And the hardback's just, you know, a plain hardback. I'm trying not to touch it because whenever I get new hardbacks, like, I feel like the ink from the cover, like, just seeps in. I have, like, black smudges all over my hands. Finally, they disappeared a bit. They're a little there still. Suspense, I give a 5 out of 5. I wanted to keep reading this. I had to keep taking breaks because of not being well, but it's so good. Like, I ran out of my room after I finished it. I had to explain the whole plot to my family because they were sitting out, like, in the living room. And they were, like, not very amused because, you know, they didn't read the book and get all the awesomeness. But I was just like, I need to talk to somebody about this. So if you've read this, please let's discuss in the comments. If you're watching this because you have not read it, don't look in the comments because, or, like, just put big spoiler words and warning just so other people can see that because I don't want anybody to be spoiled. Overall, I'm definitely 5 out of 5 for rereadability. Especially, I'm probably going to reread it right before the next book comes out. I'm not sure when that's going to be. I haven't heard anything about it, and I looked on Goodreads and couldn't find anything. So if you have found anything about that, definitely link me to it or let me know in the comments below. And yes, that has, basically overall, I loved this book so much. It was my most anticipated book of this year, and it definitely did live up to that anticipation. I don't know when this book was announced it was coming out, but it's at least I've been waiting a year for this, and it was so worth it. Love it. So basically that is it for the non-spoiler section. Spoiler section starting now. So basically I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages of notebook paper lined out. And I'm going to be talking about my, like, what I was feeling. And I'm going to try, instead of usually just reading this book in my normal voice, when I have stuff like exclamations, that's what I was looking for. And when I'm saying something like, what? Like that, like I'm going to try to like act it out what I was feeling. And I might read something that's like, oh, I think this person's a killer. And like you find that this person isn't a killer. This is just my thoughts on this chapter, not overall. So these are thoughts chapter by chapter. So basically I have the before section. So let's start reading. So this part with Aaron and Helena reminds me of Frozen in a good way, page 1 to 4. It reminded me of Frozen in the beginning because Helena kind of went through a change. You know, she does have the icy blonde hair. She locked herself in her room and her sister really wanted to hang out with her. It kind of did remind me of the beginning of Frozen. If anybody else got that parallels, definitely let me know. And then it said, Helena OMG dead. And yeah, it was a shock. I didn't think, like, because I didn't read the synopsis before I read it. Like, I hadn't read the synopsis in a while, so I was like, oh my gosh, she's dead. Because I didn't know she disappeared or she was dead, you know? And then I put, did she sacrifice herself because someone's after her sister, maybe? Then, moving on to chapter 1, I said, OMG, I cannot handle my excitement. That first before chapter was so good and so satisfying. I just need to know more. Also, before I go on, sorry if you hear noises outside. There is construction going on a few houses down, and there's all these trucks roaming past the house at all hours. So if you hear that in the background, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, back to chapter 1. I said, I love a good message board story. I really love the internet's being incorporated into books. I just find it very interesting because it's so much part of our lives, that especially in a mystery, I love when it's involved. I don't read a lot of mysteries, so I'm not up with the times, but a lot of the mystery stuff I do watch is older mystery stuff. So, you know, like computers were just integrated into our lives. So there was no smartphones and stuff like that. So, you know, I love when the internet's incorporated. The next part was, I'm loving this, but is it too early to say that Maddie is a killer? I'm suspicious of her motives. This is when I thought Maddie was Maddie, not Maddox. So, you know, I was kind of suspicious because I was like, this girl, like, she seems like how she was describing her, because it was actually Maddox's sister. I thought in my head, I was like, this person sounds too, like not to stereotype anybody, but like, this person does not seem like they're on the case for killers, like how she was describing her. And I was like, this is kind of suspicious. This is a front for somebody else. Chapter 2. What do we really know about the mysterious cousin? Who was that in reference to? Mysterious cousin. Oh, mysterious cousin. It was when Aaron was at the party and that guy was kind of leering and he was kind of acting mysterious. And then I said, well, we know he's a jerk who gets mad when people change their minds about consent. Like, what a jerk. And then I said, poor Helena. And then I said, Veronica Mars vibes for sure. Chapter 3. Why does she have a P pendant if her name's Seneca? Did she have a traumatic experience and someone whose name starts with a P happened to? Maddie accidentally catfished her, LOL. And I said, Maddie's acting shady. ... Chapter 4. Page 32. The boys' chat, especially Carson's line, one word, tragic, who talks like that. It was so uncomfortable to read, like, Carson, get some better lines. That was really sad. Second, why is he trying to avoid Aaron? Like, why is Maddie trying to avoid Aaron? Maddie had access to their lives. Suspicious. What was Aaron expecting? Would she really have been just as rude if a middle-aged person showed up? Probably. Like, when they showed up to her door and she was like, oh, you're two high school kids? Like, would she really have been satisfied with two middle-aged people? They're just, like how she explained, I think, just sitting in their parents' house solving cases. Like, what did she expect? She got help, you know, be grateful. Even if it's somebody you do know, at least somebody's trying to help you, because you seem like you need it. Seneca's acting sketchy. What's she hiding about her past? Chapter 5, why'd Helena send her in? So why'd Helena send Aaron in is my biggest question, because if she didn't want Aaron in her room, why was she, like, all the time? Why wasn't she sending, like, for the first time, Aaron in her room without her? Just kind of seems suspicious. Chapter 6, I'm really liking Seneca's character. They're giving me Scooby-Doo gang vibes. Like, when they're all teaming up, it really reminded me of the Scooby Gang. I'm intrigued by Brett, more interested in Maddox so far. What skip code was my question, and basically skip code, in case you haven't, I guess, read it, but skip code, that was so cool. Basically, when they skip words in a phrase to make a new phrase, that was really cool, and I really want to do some more research on books that have skip code and stuff like that. I really want to do more research into that. And then I said that dedication in the yearbook is so creepy, knowing Helena actually did die. Chapter 7. Why didn't she confront the hooded figure, Seneca, outside the door? I guess maybe she was sleeping, but I wasn't too clear on that. I was like, why didn't she just run out there? She heard creepy things through her door. Like, I know it's a stranger and it's creepy and you could be really hurt, but, like, I'm always like, why? I want to know who killed them, but then they're going to be killed, so, you know, kind of obsolete. Could the murder be following the message boards? Chapters 8 and 9 together. Madison said it was a short walk from tracks, so where is he? Why isn't he at the restaurant fast enough? That really sketched me out. What's with this initial necklace that Seneca is always wearing? And OMG, Seneca's past. I want to know more. Chapter 10. If all members of this crew knew people and were close to them when they were murdered, what's Maddox's fixation on the message boards? I was very, very suspicious of Maddox. Could Helena and Aaron's parents' sudden divorce have anything to do with the murder? Because, like, it was very brushed over. It was like, oh, they just got divorced. But usually they'd be like, oh, they got divorced because they were fighting a lot, or they got divorced because of this. But there wasn't, I don't remember really reading any true motive of divorce. I know you don't really need a motive, but, like, in a mystery, you know, everything's a bit suspicious. Then I said, OMG, Kevin's yearbook dedication. And then I was wondering if Helena was in a cult. Is that maybe why they have all the skip code, all the codes, she disappeared, because she's in a cult, you know? Just questions. Chapter 11, does Seneca think that if she solves this crime, then people might, like, worry about her mom's case? So she solves this, which clouded over her mom's case. If she solves this, would people go back and try to solve her mom's case? The pendant makes sense now. Page 85, paragraph 4 was very powerful. I really loved that paragraph. Maddox already investigated the case, which I was kind of shocked about. And so Madison is annoying but friendly enough, which she turns out I really like her later on, but she was kind of annoying at the beginning. Chapter 12, could Brett's grandma, Helena, and Seneca's mom have a link that threads the murders together? And I kind of ship Madison and Brett. Not anymore. Chapter 13, I like that they all seem like a friend group now. I don't know why I put a question mark on the end of that. Like, I kind of like how they seem like a friend group now. Question? Like, no. Didn't mean the question mark to be there. I said chapter 13, I hope. Yep. The perspectives sometimes get confusing. Could Helena's death have something to do with the senator? Did Kevin need Helena to be his pretend girlfriend as a front? Because, like, I put proof, he's not excited about his marriage. So was Helena kind of like his, like, beard to hide something else? Chapter 14, could Heath be a killer? Who's Marcy talking about? Heath isn't he the same age as Kevin? And then I was talking about Aaron talking to Thomas, the police officer, and I said, use him, Aaron. Get that info, girl. I was like, get the info. Like, don't be like, oh, it's nothing. Like, she didn't really seem to have very many feelings for her, so she didn't really seem to have a lot of feelings for him. So I was like, you know, just get the information. Chapter 15, is there something going on between the senator and Kevin? And then that's what I wrote at the beginning of the chapter, and they put, OMG, it's true. I'm intrigued. Secret boyfriend. Interesting. Chapter 16, Veronica Mars reference. Seneca reminds me of her. And then I said she especially reminds me of Veronica Mars in the beginning of the first season, which I said in the earlier part of this review. Chapter 17, where is Maddox's mom and stepfather? Like, they're not even here. Like, they have a guest in their home. They've never met her, and they're never around. Not that I'm suspicious of their motives. I'm just like, where are they? And then I'm like, I'm actually starting to ship Maddox and Seneca. Aw, cute. I didn't see it at the beginning, but, you know, I'm seeing a bit now. And then I put, is Catherine suspicious, or is it just me? Chapter 18, good, interesting chapter. Chapter 18, good, interesting chapter. Lauren, voicemail. What? Like, what was that voicemail? But I really love that chapter. It was very, you know, interesting. I love when they were snooping through people's stuff. Well, not people's, but Helena's. Chapter 19, could Helena's old friend Katie be Catherine? Because, you know, Katie's short form for Catherine. A great Seneca moment. I like how powerful she is. Chapter 20 plus 21. Why is the past muddled, Maddox? He had like a weird line there where he's like, the past is muddled, which made me more suspicious. And then I said, Maddox, leave Catherine, you idiot. Way to ruin the moment. And then I said, nobody took what Seneca said earlier about the person warning her, and looky here, another attack. Chapter 22. Aaron, where did you get the impression city streets at night were safe? Like what? Like, she was like, I thought cities are supposed to be safe. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been told everything but cities are safe. Like, I've heard cities are safe in the daytime, but when it comes to night, do not be, you know, walking about alone if you can help it. Maybe that's just what I've been taught. But I get the impression that cities aren't the safest places. Nowhere's really safe, but, you know, cities, I don't know, because, you know, country could be really more unsafe because people are spread more apart, but, you know, cities aren't safe. Nowhere's really safe. Like, especially at night. Night's always like, no. Seneca's theory about Helena being alive is interesting. I really liked that. And I don't split up, people. There's danger. Like, your friend just got mugged last night. When they all split up, it really reminded me of the High School Musical song that was like, it's like, who I am. It's in the second movie, I think, when Gabrielle and Troy break up. Spoiler alert. And it's like, it really reminded me of that. And it's like, oh yeah, gotta go my own way. That's what it reminded me of. That's the song I was singing in my head when that was going on. I don't know why, because I haven't watched a movie in such a long time, but that's what I was thinking. And then I said, did Aaron's dad house Helena after the divorce? Is that why the divorcee moved to the city? Was he housing Helena for some reason? Chapter 23. Sometimes Seneca reminds me of Kate Beckett from Castle, which is a TV show in case you don't know. A parent who cares. Very refreshing in this town. A lot of the books, Sara Shepard's books I've read, there's lots of parents who aren't very caring. So to see a caring parent was very nice. Nice save, Madison, but not good enough. I really like how caring and concerned that Seneca's dad was with Seneca's grief. Yes, he's a little overprotective, but who wouldn't be in the situation that he was put in? Chapter 24. Maddox and Catherine's relationship is kind of cringy. Could Helena somehow still be alive? And I put, what's the point of blackmailing a boy to date you, Catherine? What a waste of time. Like, apparently, like, as she described, she's very pretty. And she could probably, like, all the other guys are drooling after her. So why would she blackmail a guy to be with her when it's just not going to go anywhere? Like, it's kind of a waste of time. I don't understand it. Clearly, there's something going on there that's kind of messed up. Chapter 25, Heath, I knew you were suspicious. Or could it be his father, Skip? Because they do have the same last name. And, like they said, it could be Helena Ingram, like, saying the name. So having the same last name might not necessarily be Heath Ingram. Chapter 26, page 208. Heath's childhood games are a bit creepy, a little concerning. Why Skip checked out of the marriage or, like, checked out of their lives. The Ingram family is acting weird. Chapter 27, the gang is back. These aren't coincidences. Someone wants you to stop. Like, it's like you're not all getting attacked for random reasons because it's just, like, a coincidence. It's meant to happen. Chapter 28, yay, Brett will be fine. OMG, loving this app theory. Not Heath, still thinking Skip. Knew it, unless I'm wrong. Chapter 29, the hat. Chapter 30, finally apparent in Maddox and Madison's home. Refreshing. Chapter 31, so I have a new theory. So I have theories that I write down throughout the book, and yeah, they might be wrong, but these are what I was thinking while reading. My new theory is that Skip Ingram was dating Helena. He found out how to jealous rage and end up hurting Helena. This is a nice and sad moment. Oh, and then I go on to the next point. This is a nice and sad moment between Erin and her mom. Cut short. And then I said, I feel kind of bad for Thomas, but at the same time, if you're going to have a passcode list on electronic, have a passcode. Like, you're a cop. Like, I even know to do that. Like, just from an internet safety class in middle school. If you're going to have passwords, they're supposed to be secret, so keep them in a secret place. Like, yeah, you live alone, but if you're going to have, like, people over, people are like, some people do snoop around, and you know she's trying to solve her sister's case. You're a police officer and have access to a database. I know it was very convenient, though, that he had it unlocked, so, you know, too bad, Thomas. You can't really get mad. Well, you can get mad, but, like, you can't really at the same time. Kind of stupid on your part. 32. I was right about the Katie-Catherine connection. Seneca pushed through the anger, tell Maddox about the Catherine thing. Like, she was kind of getting distracted there. I was like, come on, girl. Get focused. Page 263. One more day wish is the dream. Like, have one more day with your loved one. Like, it's always the dream, and it just, like, yeah. And then I said, who gave Seneca's mom the nickname, and could it be connected to her murder? Like the nickname Pinky, I believe it was. And then I said, Seneca's mom coroner's report was similar to Helena's. Is there a possible connection? Because both Helena and the mom's coroner's report had, I believe it was like the lower part of the body or the pelvic bone was very crushed in or something like to do with the pelvis region. Chapter 33, good friend behavior. Tori, I really liked that. I love when I see good friends standing up for their friends. And I said, oh, the app again. Intrigued. Helena was alive after she was disappeared and thought Erin was getting her messages. OMG. Because she sent Erin that message. And then I said, was Helena pregnant at some point? Is that maybe why she ran away? And then I said, did Marissa do something? Chapter 34. Marissa's crazy. Chapter 35. So Marissa's innocent? New theory. So I kind of had a new theory. And this one's kind of a messed up theory, but it is a mystery. So, you know, go with me. So my new theory is Helena's mom was also having an affair with Skip because the parents were getting divorced. There was no reason or rhyme or reason that they said they were getting divorced. I was like, was she having an affair with Skip? Like, they're always around. He was acting always weird in their kitchen. I was like, did she, like, accidentally hurt Helena thinking she was somebody else intruding in the apartment? Because the parents were getting divorced for unknown reasons. And the mom is so distant and acts weird to Erin after all this. So could she have hurt Helena? Questionable. And then I said, so it was Marissa? I'm so confused. Chapter 36, Marissa equals horrible friend to Erin's mom. And then I said, I like Thomas and Erin together, though. Chapter 31, OMG Brett. I thought he was suspicious at the engagement party, but I thought I was being paranoid when he was saying those remarks like, oh, don't get upset, Brett. Like, don't get your heart broken. I was like, that's kind of weird to say to yourself, especially when you're not, like, really in a committed relationship. But I was like, you know what, Rachel, like, it's Maddox. He's the one. And Brett slipped on by. And then I said, OMG, Brett kills and pegs on others on case not closed. OMG. It's like in big letters, if you see. And then I said after, OMG, look out, Erin. I cannot wait. That was such a twist. I really want to know why he murdered all those people. why they're all connected. Now they, like, all that chapter, and they're like, Maddox, like, why did you tell Brett about that? And he's like, I didn't tell Brett about that. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just like a shocking moment, because I kind of assumed it was him, but I was like, no, because he's like the fun one of the group, he's a jokester, and that was kind of a twist. Like, usually it's the moody one of the group, but he was the one that was like pulling the group together. And if you think about the stuff she said about him in the end, it's like, yeah, that was really suspicious, but at the same time, like, how would you have caught that? If any of you guys did catch who the killer was in the book, definitely let me know, but I certainly did not see that coming. I first for sure was Maddox, and I think my fixation kind of, made it weird. I'm still a little suspicious of Maddox, but I definitely don't think he's the killer, especially if he's going to be the love interest of somebody, but you never know. Loved this book anyway. This has been a really long video by this point, so I'm thank you guys so much for watching. Let's discuss in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.